On June 1st, 2003, British Columbia's Integrated Homicide Investigation Team was officially open for business.
Primary intention is for us to be able to demonstrate to our policing partners, the stakeholders, municipal and provincial, federal governments, on why specific investigations, like a homicide investigation, cost as much as they do. I think once they see the work and time and effort that's involved, they'll have a much better understanding of where the dollars go. And we can demonstrate that that is translated into safer streets, safer communities.
Burnaby RCMP.
Sir, I'm here in Royal Oak and Kingsway. Blood is everywhere, but I think he's died.
911 call was placed at about 21:30 hours, and I received a call 22:30, basically saying that there's been a double homicide in Burnaby. Call out your team.
IHIT's integration means higher ranking, highly specialized and uniquely trained police officers with specialized equipment and expertise.
I witnessed somebody shooting a Japanese restaurant. The gun that was used for shooting is a rifle gun. The color of the car is green.
General duty police officers guard the crime scene, usually for days, while major crime investigators assist in finding and questioning witnesses. All an integral part of the front-end loading, or the first 48 to 72 hours.
When the file is rolling out, you're interviewing everybody. We called out TAC Troop. We organized for the Integrated Forensic Identification Section to come out.
There was no criminal background to the two victims. There's a lot of speculation from the public and from the media as to what happened and if it's related to gang, if it's related to organized crime, or if it has any sort of criminal element attached to it at all.
We knew it was personal, but we didn't know why.
For municipalities, being a part of IHIT brings many benefits, like direct access to a wide range of support services, integrated identification services, police dog services, and emergency response teams are used regularly in almost all homicide investigations. It means seamless service across a region and a timely, flexible response.
Angus Mitchell came to light 2 days later. There was an attempted murder of his landlord.
Burnaby Police Emergency.
Hello?
Hi, you've got the Burnaby RCMP.
Oh, somebody got shot, but he's still alive.
Kudos were given to FIS, who basically said, you know what, the shell casings are the same. Once we were able to identify the vehicle that Angus Mitchell was driving, that's really when the ball started rolling. So because we had to locate the people that were roommates of Angus Mitchell, people were actually working around the clock to ensure these people's safety. It became a provincial priority.
RCMP had issued an unprecedented public warning about 26-year-old Angus Mitchell. He was wanted for attempted murder and a recent double homicide at a Vancouver area restaurant.
It also means greater awareness of the Lower Mainland's serious crime situation by enhanced, effective intelligence sharing.
File then took a unique twist in that he was located, and we had Maple Ridge plainclothes surveillance team members come out and secure and see the vehicle in Maple Ridge there until IHIT came out. A shootout, an exchange of gunfire between IHIT and Mr. Mitchell himself, and Mr. Mitchell subsequently succumbed to those injuries.
Optically, for the public, this looked like it was a really expensive investigation. But the reality is because it was so fast-paced, the numbers on this investigation aren't typically what we would see in something that would, say, play out for maybe 3-4 years, which is actually an average investigation for IHIT.
With
What drives the cost of the homicide to be so expensive is the length of time that the actual investigation will take. So beyond the responding, which has a certain cost associated to it, of course, beyond the 7 days.
Organized crime-related homicides are the most difficult, lengthy, and expensive to solve.
In many of our investigations, likely more than half of them, there is a connection to the homicide and criminal activity.
Witnesses are scared to talk, and suspects often have networks across the country or even around the world to help them evade police.
Where it gets pricey is the investigative technique. Investigative techniques, we're talking about wires, an undercover operation. Undercover operation will run between $280,000 to $350,000.
Criminals know no boundaries. Brazen daytime shootings in public places can happen in every community and put everyone at risk.
Not just a gangster shooting another gangster. It's an innocent child sitting in a vehicle in the back seat when the gangster's mother gets assassinated, right? It's the little kid in the parking lot of Safeway that a bullet goes whizzing by the head. It's Jonathan Barber who's trying to fix a guy's radio, and him and his girlfriend get attacked and ambushed with submachine guns in the middle of the street at 7 o'clock at night.
Leading to a wire, leading to the undercover operation, it usually requires what we call lifestyle surveillance, trying to find the target, trying to see what he does on a daily basis. If a wire authorization needs to be done, it gets really costly, not only because of obviously installing the wires, but it's the monitoring, it's the monitor rooms, it's the transcription associated to that. A typical wire operation is, from the start, will start in $500,000. On top of those things, we have disclosure issue where past the arrest, past the actual homicide investigation, we could be 2 to 3 years down the road. We have to satisfy the requirement for Crown or for the court to process the charge, which usually means we have to transcribe every witness statement that was taken, either from a person calling 911 to the actual witness of the incident. Sometimes scenarios that we ran in the undercover operation, interview, when we arrest a person and we do an interview of that person, it would last sometimes 24 to 48 hours. We've got to transcribe that. Transcribing a 48-hour interview obviously is very costly. It's a gang-related homicide and we have a witness that provided valuable information leading to an arrest or to a charge. Sometimes we have to relocate these people under the witness protection program. We got to manage these people all the way to possibly a trial. We could be 2 or 3 years following an arrest, in some cases 5-10 years following an actual homicide.
IHIT pays for all the expenses related to a homicide investigation.
By the time we associate all these costs, on top of salary dollars, obviously, and equipment, the building, the vehicle, that's why it's easily reached $2 to $3 million.
With over 400 investigations and 200 more consultations under its belt, it is no surprise that this homicide unit is the largest and busiest in the nation.
In order for us to maintain that success and to continue to be successful, it's crucial that the responsibility for the homicide is shared with our partners, our detachments in particular, especially during the crucial time when we are trying to secure real evidence, perishable evidence, during that first 72 hours of an investigation. That relationship with the detachment and the support that we get makes the difference of us being successful or not. And that's why this relationship is so important. We will continue to succeed. We will continue to make lives easier for the victims' families that we work hard for every day, but it's out of that shared responsibility. We have, as I've said, been successful. We have seen our overall clearance rate around 60%. when we look at investigations that aren't targeting organized criminals, our clearance rate's almost 75%. And that's excellent.